Hi, everybody. It is Wednesday, April 26th, and yeah, I've been meaning to do a video for a while. Sorry, I've just been really busy with work. Um, but I do kind of want to explain things from my perspective. Like again, you guys, just take this with a grain of salt because, as you know, I look at the world a lot differently than most people. Uh, so yeah, I get call it voices in my head or my guides or in my case, I just call them my team because I'm getting some sort of guidance from off planet. I'm just gonna say it. So, I'm asking the same questions as everybody else, especially people that are seeking the truth over the last few years. I'm asking, it's like, what's going on? Like, how come it doesn't look like we're making any progress, although we kind of are, but it's just not fast enough. So, what they've been telling me is, and they can kind of play with time, just like the Mandela effect happened. It's in some ways it's kind of like collapsing negative timelines and squishing them all together. Because the way I look at things, as you know, is we're in this. Uh, it's a big giant classroom. It's a physical reality that we our spirits have designed to play out ideas and concepts, and this is how we learn and experience things. So to me, it's like there's no real sort of you know death as we know it or whatever. Life keeps going on and on. Our souls are eternal. Um, anyway, I don't want to go off too much on that, but I do want to explain what they've been telling me is when we first, when I say we, it's like a bunch of us that have volunteered to come here to help and assist humanity break away from this control system. We're all connected. Our consciousness are all connected, and we're co-creating this reality. And the average person out there, you call them normies or kind of the sleepy people, they're not getting it, and it's because it's part of like this control matrix. It's not only dumbing them down and making them insensitive to what's going on, they're just not getting it. For us that are getting it, it's frustrating because we're going, well, what's it going to take? Like, how much more, do we have to show you that we're being messed with, and we can turn this ship around if everybody sort of wakes up. Um, the higher density beings that are helping us with this, they made a decision, and like I'm just sort of going with the plan. So I don't get heads up on everything, but they made the decision to back up time. So in reality, these last 2 years, we're almost like replaying the first 2 years. So they literally backed everything up 2 years. But what makes it interesting is they merging it into a solid, more positive timeline. So, but I don't know. I'm just trying to explain this as best way that they've explained to me. It's like we've been given an extension. We're in overtime. We're in overtime for this great awakening, because the first trial. I know it's everybody. If they weren't being so controlled, would have got it, and we would have broke free from this matrix 2 years ago. If they weren't so, it's not just brainwashing. It's just literally they don't get what's going on at all. They're not. There's there's lots of different programmings going on. So, like I said, we've been given this extension. So for us, it's like a repeat. We're doing a second run through, but this time, not only waking up people more on the way they should have been waking up, as in like taking down the mainstream media, the truth coming out, all that should have happened 2 years ago. We're doing it again, and we're merging it together with the timeline that we were normally on, the positive timeline. So for us that we got it, it's almost like we're seeing very little progress, because literally we backed it up 2 years, and we're doing a do-over. This time the way it should have been done, and we're also giving people that were caught up in the negative, being on the dark side, sort of, we're giving them a second chance. It's like we're giving them a chance to redeem themselves and join this fight to get us out of this. As well as, this is a slower, they've decided to do this slower, and I gotta admit, it's probably ultimately the best. What they've been telling me is, even for us that are already awake and we get what's going on, I guess we'll kind of appreciate it, because we're gonna go, oh man, I wish my sleepy friends would have woken up on time and whatever. Because we are kind of on this time constraint of what people keep calling like ascension and stuff. Ultimately what that really means is, this is a classroom that should have graduated by now. This is a spiritual classroom, and if we weren't messed with so badly, we would have graduated. And what happens when you graduate is basically people become more enlightened through their trials and errors throughout different timelines, and this civilization that we're all co-creating becomes able to interact into other classrooms that are already in a higher vibration, if you know what I mean. So, in a higher density, sort of. So that's why people are trying to wrap their heads around. And believe me, I'm trying to make sense of it, being in this body, trying to make sense of how that transition happens. And I keep getting, they kind of keep explaining it to me that it's a merger. It's pretty much exact kind of like the Mandela effect. It's like, I don't know how they do it, but outside this physical reality, streaming time doesn't exist. So you can play with time. You can go back in time. You can do do-overs, all this stuff. It's really interesting. But when you're in this, it's kind of a holodeck, or this simulator that we're in, this what we call reality. And believe me, things are physical for sure. So it's not that. It's not that as if it's, although as you know, everything is just an atom vibrating at different speeds anyway. But I'm just saying, yeah, this is a physical reality for us to inhabit these bodies, to have these experiences. And I know I've gone on and on about that, but that's kind of what's going on. So to wrap things up, what I'm trying to explain to you is, for us to get it, it's like we're doing a repeat or a slow version of this wake up. That's exactly right. So that's why, obviously, all those timelines that people, or predictions that people were trying to have, just throw them out the window, because we're literally doing everything over again. They've decided just to give everybody a second chance at it. We're backing it up 2 years. We're doing it all over again the way it should have been done. As in, like, slowly the truth comes out as we go forward. And, all the corruption gets revealed, and we all kind of wake up to what's going on, and we can all change it. Because in a sense, like I said, this is a classroom, and they want us all to participate in changing this timeline. It's kind of why we come here, ultimately, is it's kind of like a problem-solving classes, as well as personal interactions and personal lessons that we're all learning. And we all kind of graduate, not all exactly the same way and everything, about the same time. We're all kind of given so many thousands of years to experience different lifetimes, that type of thing. And then Okay, and also just to kind of wrap this up too is you'll hear other people talking about it. These classrooms generally last, and it's like a solar sort of repeat cycle, and it's basically 26,000 years. We go through the system and we reach the end of this solar thing going on as well. This sort of cycle, and then we basically wherever we are at that time, and normally if it's not messed with, these classrooms work great, but we're being kept down, and we have this negative parasite, type of thing. As you know, I mean, I can go on and on about that. But anyway, so just so you understand what's going on is, I'm always trying to simplify it as best I can. And we're doing a repeat, and we're doing this is a slow awakening now. Because when we first wanted to do this, we were doing rip the Band-Aid off, let the chips fall where they may version, which I remember us coming in going, yeah, let's do that. Let's just get in there, but the higher density beings, which are in a sense kind of like our teachers, you got to look at it that way. They said, you guys this is too fast. You guys got to slow it up, because it's all about spiritual lessons. It's not about how we live our physical lives on earth. I mean, it's important to us while we're down here. Like, we want to be healthy and all this stuff, but normally our systems are not messed with so bad, and we are more healthy, and we have more abundance and stuff like that. But that's part of the reason why not only I have come here, but also others trying to help break free from this, or getting rid of that old control system. Anyway, I know this is out there, and take it with a grain of salt, but that's what I'm getting. And yeah, I'm like I said, it's like I volunteered to come here to help with this. And what they've reminded me about is, they said the reason why I'm down here in this grade 3 class, that's really how I look at it, is to not necessarily be a tutor. That's part of it, but that's why I generally don't speak too much about it. But what they're really wanting us to do, and that means you guys too that are a part of this, is we are maintaining sanity. We are actually making this, because of our consciousness is connected into this matrix. We're the stabilizers. We're here to help stabilize this while we go through this transition of getting rid of the negative entities and going forward on a positive timeline. We're here to anchor that in. If we're not here, this matrix will just absolutely would have just been, destroyed, and it would have been terrible. So yeah, it's not fun being down here and watching all this stuff play out, but we're being protected. I know I am, for sure, me and all my friends. I keep asking for that as well, but I'm just saying we're being protected, we're being guided, we're being helped to get through this. But if it wasn't for us, honestly, you guys, we're keeping this place together. We are the, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but we are the electrical force, or the energetic force that's keeping these classrooms together. Because it's like we're the only ones that are staying sane through this, and helping keep it together. If we leave, that's why they were saying, it's like, you signed up for this, you were here, and I know I volunteered for this. It's like I have to sort of go through the muck to get out of this. But it's like, yeah, we're the ones that are keeping this together. So that's why we got to stay strong. protecting us anyway, and we're gonna get out of this. And also, I know I went on about this too long, but we've already won, so it's not that, like I know down the timeline, we've won this. It's about how many souls can we help through all this and get to the graduation point, if you know what I'm saying. So anyway, if that makes sense to anybody, great. Take it with a grain of salt, that's what I'm getting. So, okay, have a good, I guess next month is May coming up. Lots of truth coming out. Like I said, it's going to be slower than what we wanted, but we're still going forward. Okay, stay positive. Talk to you later. Bye.